The best part of covering athletics at MC for the Raptor Report is getting to know the student athletes. They're hardworking, dedicated, and they all play for the love of the game. And they have wonderful stories to tell both on and off the field. Katelynn Snyder is a perfect example. She's a terrific soccer player, a team captain, a blogger for MC, and an inspiration. Katelynn Snyder has loved soccer from the first time she played it in grade school, and once she entered middle school, it quickly became the only sport she cared about. But at about the same time she discovered soccer, her mother was diagnosed with cancer.
She first got sick when I was in 5th grade, and then it just like came back and forth, and then my junior year of high school, it was like her 5 years of being clean. But then my senior year, it came back into her lungs, and it like her lungs had collapsed, and then it spread through the rest of her body.
After graduating high school, Katelynn took a year off to help out at home. She comes from a large and close-knit family, and she had a lot of responsibilities. After the time off, she wasn't sure about returning to school, but soccer helped her make up her mind.
And then after I took the year off, I wasn't sure if I was going to go back, and then I started playing a spring league with my friend who just wanted me to come and play with her. And when I started playing again, I was like, I want to go back to school, I want to go to MC. And so I was just working out all summer to get back into soccer shape.
She started her MC soccer career as a midfielder, but soon was moved to defense, her natural position.
The part that I like about defense is that I can just see where people are going, and I can get there before they do, whereas in like midfield or forward, I'm trying to either score, like trying to get the ball to my players, where it's easier for me to like read the other players and where they're going to pass it and like where they need to make the run. So it's like, I don't know, just playing off the opposite of what the forward would do. I like that a lot.
She had an impressive freshman year, leading the Raptors to the regional finals and making first-team All-Region and the Region 20 All-Tournament team. And her mom was able to come to most of her games despite her worsening health.
She wasn't able to stay in the cold that long, but she would like come to the games, and she also had an oxygen tank. So if that like ran out of oxygen, she had to leave early. But she like went to all the games, and she would text me after all the games. So yeah. And the regional final, she was there. That was really cold, but she still like came to that. So that was really fun. I don't know if during the season I really knew it was going to be the last season, but the last game I knew it was going to be the last, and it was just like really hard. I just was like, I don't know, I was crying and just like hugging her. And I felt bad because like the last game she saw me play, I lost.
Well, you didn't lose. The team lost.
Yeah, we lost.
It was indeed the last game her mother would ever see Katelynn play because the cancer was taking over.
Like around Christmas time, it was like a little bit before that, it had spread to her brain, so they had to stop treating every other part of her body and just treated her brain, which was good because she got to live a little bit longer because they treated the brain, but then since they weren't able to treat everything else, it kind of like ended the process, I guess. So then in January, she passed away, like the end of the month. Since she was getting treated on the brain and everything else stopped, so like the cancer everywhere else in her body kind of took over. But like her brain was clear, so that she was able to just kind of like stay with us and then pass away.
Katelynn's mom passed away just after Christmas 2014, and it took Katelynn many months to get back to playing. She just couldn't bring herself to do it. But once she got back out there, she felt something she'd never experienced before.
It was really calming playing. Once I wasn't really thinking during the game. Once I would get off for halftime or like get off for a sub, I'd start thinking, like get worked up and sad. But like during the game, it was just like I was 100% focused because I just felt like calm because I was playing for her. I didn't have that before this year. Like I don't know what, because for me it was weird coming into the season and feeling more controlled because I was like I haven't played like at all because I was really upset the past year that I wasn't playing or exercising or working out. So coming back this season and still being a little more controlled than I was last year was weird, and it just felt different. But I mean, for me, it felt like it was because of my mom.
And Katelynn dedicated this season to her mom.
Last year we had all this pink stuff from the month of October, which is breast cancer awareness, and so I just wore that all season. And underneath my jersey I wore the shirt that she died in, which was like it just said "We love Mama Bear" on it. So I had that shirt that I wore under my jersey, And then I wore the Mama Bear sweatband, the pink sweatband we had, and the pink socks. And it just, it more like made me focus, where it was like hard to get me to do anything this season. But when it came to soccer, like I wanted to go play because I wanted to go play for her. And like, I don't know, it felt, I had more of like a purpose to play than I did have a purpose to do anything else this year.
Despite her grief, she played this season with passion, fearlessness, elan, and energy. And she was also named a team co-captain. She's an athletic wonder, really. Her coach, Brad Harden, couldn't say enough about her contributions to the team.
She's a great leader for the program. She was a great leader for the program, as well as obviously a tremendous athlete and soccer player as well. She had some different responsibilities this year than she did last year. Of course, she was sort of the backbone to our back five, our center, our four backs, and our goalkeeper. However, there were times throughout the season where I moved her around a little bit to gain some advantage from her athleticism and her drive and her will to win, to create some positive opportunities for us.
Katelynn told me even though she was a co-captain, it was hard for her to open up to her teammates about her mom and what she had been going through since her mom passed away. But her teammates knew the situation and they were there for her. A key moment in her relationship with her teammates was the Howard game on October 22nd.
I sent them a text before the game and was just like, this is going to be really hard for me. Like, it's the 22nd today that we're playing them, which is like the anniversary of months after my mom died. I think it was 8 months. And I was playing the Howard game, who we had lost to the last time my mom watched me play. So I told everybody it was going to be really hard for me. And I think that was the first time I really like opened up to them and like explained it to them. And I think that was the best we've ever played together, and everybody played really aggressive and just, I don't know, it just seemed like there was a lot more put into that game than there had been in games before. And I know for me, the reasoning was my mom, but them supporting me, it really felt like they were there like trying to help me and supporting me and like playing for my mom. And after the game, one of my teammates gave me like a pink Nike band, and like after one of my friends scored in the game, she like ran back and was like, that was for your mom. And so it was just like a lot was like mentioned during the game that just kept kind of like reminding me.
Despite her heavy heart, head coach Brad Harden said it never affected her play on the field. It was after games when things were roughest. Harden told me working through this with Katelynn has made him a better coach.
There were a few times post-match where the energy and the drive of the game is such that your adrenaline is going so hard, and then at the end there's kind of a win or lose, there's this kind of drop off, and she struggled with that a few times, and I struggled with it trying to come to her, and then that's kind of where I decided, you know what, she needs her distance, she needs that time to decompress on her own, and I can address things 24 or 48 hours after that.
Katelynn also credits several MC staff members with helping her through her difficult year, starting with Carrie Steele-Loy, one of MC's athletic trainers.
Miss Carrie helped me a lot because it wasn't really like I had an injury, but I just needed somebody to talk to. And when I would go in there to get treated, she would usually just like talk to me about stuff that like you would talk to about with a mom. Not anything that like was major, but she would just talk to me, and that helped a lot. And when I was starting the season, I wasn't really like able to eat, and I was getting really anxious, and like coming to school I would just get sick and nauseous when I came to school. And she was the one who kind of was like talking to me through it and getting me to the conclusion that maybe I needed to talk to somebody because maybe my body wasn't like dealing with everything the right way because of how emotionally, like, I guess, emotionally stressed out I was maybe.
George Zuniga, Rockville athletic coordinator, was another.
And George was the one who kind of like helped me with the whole process of everything and like meeting the right counselor for me, and just like the type of counselor who deals with the stuff that I was going through. And even when I was going to go to the counselor, like I couldn't get myself into the counselor's office. Like I was in front of the office just like crying, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. I don't know why I don't want to go in there. And so my friend took me to go get George because I was like, I think if I go in with George, it'll be better. And like, he literally was just like, he walked me there and like sat down there with me, and he like introduced the problem, which like helped me to open up and talk about it.
Another outlet that helped her through the year was when she was picked as one of MC's student bloggers.
But sometimes it's just cool if I'm like having a bad day and I want to write something about my mom, and I can just put it in there. Because there's a couple of them that are more last minute and I don't really get too deep into it. But then there's other ones that I'm really like sitting there thinking about it and I'm like analyzing everything. And it's just, I don't know, it's easier for me to get like my feelings out that way than talking to people about it.
Katelyn's playing days at MC are behind her now. But as she prepares to move to life's next chapter, I asked her what she'll remember most about MC soccer.
Definitely beating Howard in regionals. It wasn't the finals, but we still beat them just ever since losing to them last year. So it was nice beating them because they were our rivals, and also it was the last team my mom saw me play, so that was probably my favorite memory. And then there's, like, I love the team, but there's also like specific girls on the team that I got really close to, and like I'm really grateful that I met them because they helped me a lot through all of this. And if I hadn't met them, I don't know if I would have been able to play this semester, because I don't think I would have been eligible. Like, they helped me a lot in the spring semester, and it was, I don't know, it was really nice meeting them. They were just, I don't know, they helped me a lot.